Hey guys, welcome to Hookah N Headlocks podcast, episode 13. I'm Cameron, accompanied by Anthony.
Hello.
Joe.
Hello.
Archie.
Hi.
And John.
Hello.
John, what are we having today?
I've got an all dark side mix of green bean, cosmic flower, and supernova.
Archie, how about yourself?
I'm smoking dark side cola with Azure Alaskan ice.
Joe.
Archie, what am I smoking?
You are smoking dark side cola with dark side sky lime with Azure Alaskan ice.
And Anth.
I have another all dark side mix: dark side cola, dark side green bean, and supernova.
What are you smoking, Cameron?
Got the usual.
Cane mint.
Yeah.
Long day at work, huh?
Early?
No, just no.
It's the spot.
It's very exotic of you.
Very, very. Anyways, we'll go through the last, second last SmackDown and the last Raw before SummerSlam happens.
Yeah.
Guess it's just more to finish up the storylines before the end of the show. Oh, before SummerSlam, I should say. We start off with... I'm not going to start with the kickoff of SmackDown just because we always talk about the bloodline.
Take up the most of the SmackDown review.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
But we move into the first match between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar for the number one contender for a US title.
Mm-hmm.
Seems the match was cut short because Rey was injured.
How was that? Part of the match was that?
We still don't know,
I think it's legit.
I think it's legit.
which leads to think it's legitimate.
My guess is he probably got concussed from that hit when he fell back.
Yeah, it seemed like
So what's happened? He's gone for the
Dive, and
they went to commercial.
they cut to commercial.
Oh,
as they
commercial.
moved on,
Yeah.
out of the ring.
Okay. They've come back and we've seen Ray on the
in the corner.
side of the ring. The side of the ring, was he?
Yeah, at the ramp.
Okay. And called the no contest.
Yeah, they called a no contest. They called it off, saying
So
that Ray
Escobar
can't
wins.
continue.
Escobar wins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Then we saw Ray get up afterwards.
yeah, and they shook hands and hugged it out.
And embrace.
It looked genuine,
Yeah,
and you don't really see that being a spot where he allows himself to land face first. Usually if it's a counter, somebody will attack him midway, try to crash his landing.
Yeah.
So it did look a bit off the script, what happened. It did look genuine.
The only cynical part I've got to see about is we sat here a week ago thinking, how are they going to finish this match?
Mhm.
Ray can't win. Ray can't lose. Santos can't win. Santos can't lose.
Yeah.
And then we get this. That's the only cynical part of it, but it seems legitimate. It does.
and I think it's very fortunate for WWE to get the result that they wanted anyway.
Well, not that way, but
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but my guess is it's probably just a concussion because he did land the back of his head onto the side of the ramp.
I'd like to see if they use this in a storyline in the future, because we know, I don't know if you caught up NXT, but Ray will be in the corner for Dragon Lee next week against Dom Mysterio.
Yeah,
So I don't know, there could be something with concussion there if they want to continue this storyline with Dom all of a sudden.
Mhm.
We'll see how it plays out.
When was that announced?
Today on NXT.
All right, so we'll know by next week whether it's a shoot or not.
Because what gives it away for me is it happened during the break. They came back from break, and we saw Ray on the side of the ring being assisted by a medical professional and the ref.
Well, if they're already making plans for Ray now, does that lead to believe it was a work?
I don't know, maybe
It
unless
would.
either that or maybe the concussion issues probably aren't that severe.
Unless Endgame was still to have Santos win.
I think it was.
Yeah, what would
That
have
was the plan. Then giving him the win through Ray failing the concussion test or HIA. It's probably just minor more than anything.
Because I saw it on social media the other day. They stated that Santos was always going to win the match, but obviously it just didn't happen the way they wanted it.
Yeah. We'll definitely know by, is it NXT next week?
Yep.
We'll know by next week.
yeah, definitely. But how good was Great American Bash as well?
That was good.
Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Gable,
Oh, man.
it wasn't really the reaction he was hoping to get on his first match.
Corbin was getting cheered more than
I
Gable was.
think that's more because of the allegations against him. But they did come out with the "You're Not Angle" chant,
Yeah,
which puts you dead in the water at this point.
Yeah.
What's the irony, though?
Gold medalists.
at Chad Gable not getting the reaction because Kurt Angle thought he was going to get cheered until they told him, no, you're going to get booed, and he didn't believe it. Tell me I'm not the only one that picked up on that. Surely Archie.
Yeah,
you thought of that too. But Kurt Angle thought he was going to get cheered until they told him, no, Kurt, you're going to get booed, and he didn't believe it until he walked out.
I can't understand. Think about it, NXT crowd is practically indie crowd.
Yes, it's Ring of Honor.
If it was main roster, different story.
Yeah.
I always see it as the newer version of a Ring of Honor or an ECW.
Yeah.
I said it reminds me of ECW. It does.
Yeah. But moving on to the next match, we had someone that Johnny is hot and horny for, LA Knight versus Ashante the Adonis.
LA Knight, the greatest creator wrestler ever made.
Yeah.
He's got The Rock, Stone Cold. He's now Goldberg, apparently.
Won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Won the US title tournament. He's doing everything we predict.
The Grand Slam. How good was his match at WrestleMania 39?
Best match I've ever seen.
Now he's Goldberg, apparently. He's beating wrestlers in 4 seconds.
Yeah. But how good was the calls on the whole Hit Row team?
A lot of dollar, a lot.
That was from Michael Cole, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was LA Knight.
And Michael Cole did make a comment about Flop Dollar as well.
Oh, he's hated LA Knight for months now. He calls him Flop Dollar in every match.
Ever since that,
since he did the botch, he's probably said we're going to run with this now.
Yeah. But, yeah, he's still getting the crowd reactions as he should.
And we got a match announced that we knew nothing about until LA Knight opened up his mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
We've got a Battle Royal.
Slim Jim Battle Royal.
We've got a Battle Royal. We've got a Battle Royal which we know at least is LA Knight and Sheamus.
Yep.
Alpha Academy's in it.
Yep.
Shinsuke,
Tommaso. Yep.
So that'll be on the main that'll be on the main card.
Yeah.
And people are predicting if LA Knight doesn't win, apparently we will get a surprise. A comeback. They reckon the only other person that could win is Randy Orton. I've been hoping for Randy for a few months now. I don't know.
I've got my prediction for that Battle Royal because I think it makes a lot more sense what they want to do with it.
Will we leave it until the end then?
Yeah. Moving on, we had the Grayson Waller effect with Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair coming out and announcing a tag team match with the new tag team champions that are celebrating their 11 days at the time.
They're probably the top 3 longest streaks.
It's probably the longest women's tag team championship reign.
No. Don't forget Sasha and Naomi.
Don't you love that trope WWE always do? Can they coexist?
Yeah.
They put the opponents together in a tag team match.
Yep.
It always works.
Tried and true method.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going straight into that match. Bit of a sloppy finish at the end, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
I didn't like they knew who was legal at one point, Bianca and Charlotte. It looked like they would be confused.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one match where I know we're going to say about a few others. Just can't wait to get to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Just to see what they're going to do. Just to see what they're going to do and where it's going to go.
Do you feel it's dragged out?
Not that it's dragged out. I feel like
it's probably been the best the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
But everything leading up to it was just so slow and it took a long time to get to where we are now.
Yeah.
I just think now we're happy just to see the match.
Yeah.
See what comes out of it.
So I feel like we're still yet to see more of Asuka in that whole feud. Most has been on with Bianca and Charlotte.
Yeah, sometimes you forget she's holding the women's championship.
It's like I've said, they're making us leading us to believe that she's in the afterthought.
Well, she's either been a third wheel or if you add Bayley and Io Sky in there, a fifth wheel.
Yeah.
Now she had more of an interaction with Io Sky and Bayley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Io Sky got that ransom letter, was it?
Yeah, Bayley from Shotzi. Shotzi been like
from Shotzi.
Yeah.
It's creeping in closer and closer.
Yeah.
Could Shotzi be the one to stop Io from cashing in?
Or do we get the swerve and Bayley finally turns on Io?
Could be one of those things.
I will say, I know we'll get into the Raw segment, but it's probably the strongest the women's division has been on both sides in probably a while.
There's a lot of star power on both sides.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of layers to each of their storylines.
Yeah.
You don't know who's getting involved with whose match anymore.
It's not straightforward. It's more leaving us up to the viewers.
That's Triple H's booking. A lot of layers to his storylines.
Honestly, I prefer it that way. I think a lot of people do.
Leaves it open. Keeps you guessing what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it seems like there's no need to be a ranking or a push to happen. Anyone can get it any time now.
You see how many times they tried to board in a ranking system, or it's just never worked out. Once everybody gets lost in the shuffle,
exactly.
2-3 weeks.
I think AEW kind of proved that too.
They did. Even with the record, their win-loss record, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that still? Or they...
But they'll keep the win-loss record and that, but they don't do the tier system, the ranking system
I
anymore.
don't mind the win-loss record at the bottom of the screen.
No,
I
that's
There's only half
I
there.
don't mind it for like the whole year kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't lead to like a whole ranking system.
Nah.
No.
Even TNA tried to do it, that lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but we'll move on to the next match, which we had was a bit of a squash, which was Carl Anderson versus Karrion Kross.
When's the last time we've seen Carl? Has Carl Anderson wrestled singles match in WWE?
How long?
Back on the initial run on
Been
the
probably, this is the first one in a long time.
When I saw him by himself, it reminded me of him in Japan 10 years ago. You never really seen him in the ring by himself.
Because he's
underrated.
Yeah.
He's actually a great
He's
wrestler.
great.
I'm actually a big fan of his Spinebuster.
He's
Yeah.
double A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But Carrion,
with
looking
his,
strong.
with his new finisher too.
I like
I
it.
like that.
What was the new name for it now?
I forgot exactly what it was called.
I'm not sure what it was, but it pays homage to the F5.
Yeah, it's very, very similar.
Yeah. Not that the cross hammer's the fist.
The cross hammer's the swinging.
It's a play on
Cross
words.
check against the sleeper hold.
It's a play on words. It's a play on words.
It's cross something again, but
No, it doesn't
I
have
can't
the word.
remember the name.
It doesn't have the word cross in it. I remember it doesn't have the word cross
Is
in
it
it.
divine intervention?
Nah.
It's something along those ones. I know that.
Yeah,
It's like something sinister sounding.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's got a cool name.
Yeah, I saw a lot of homage to the F5 in that finishing move.
And then
Is that another storyline? Sorry, is that another storyline that just being dragged out?
Cross and Anderson.
Cross and AJ Styles.
You don't
I
know.
don't know, but
You don't know.
Hey, at least Cross is looking strong again, so I'm not complaining at all.
They haven't advertised anything for SummerSlam, have they?
no, we could probably find out something closer to SmackDown.
Like I said, it's one of those in-show rivalries, like with Alpha Academy and Viking Raiders.
That's true.
As a perfect
What that
example.
match go for? 2 minutes? Yeah.
Probably
Yeah, give
2
or
to
take.
3 minutes. But whatever happens coming out of it, Cross has to win this feud because I don't think he's won a feud yet. Because we thought he was
He's
going
only
to
had one feud, really.
be Drew.
With Drew. Other than that, you can't name another storyline he's had.
Right.
From.
He had the thing with Ray for a couple of weeks, but
a few weeks.
he didn't win anything.
That didn't go far.
No,
it didn't.
Like his feud with Drew went on for a little bit, but he didn't end up winning it in the
He
end.
lost in the cage at Saudi.
And that was it. Done deal.
Yeah, and that was, 2 matches in that. They didn't really have a third, did they?
No blow off.
No.
Because Cross won the first one and then he lost the cage.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It was just bad timing, I guess. But
Yeah.
at least he's looking strong now, and everything's working out a lot better for him now.
Yeah.
And I think even the new finisher has actually reinvigorated him as well.
Adds a bit more like oomph to him. Like,
Yeah.
More, makes him look more powerful instead of just a flying elbow.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
cool, but not a finisher.
It's very real Osprey.
Yeah, it is. Oh, no one does it better than Will.
Yeah.
That flying forearm.
But we'll move into the kickoff of that show where we had Jey Uso and Roman Reigns being confronting each other. Quite mutual at the very beginning until Jey Uso had his match with Grayson Waller at the end.
Showed a bit of a dominant look on Roman by putting the hand on the neck,
Yeah.
almost showing I'm going to be the next tribal chief.
That's what Roman does to them.
To put them back in place.
Yeah.
But he basically blamed Roman again and said, we didn't want any of this. You caused this trouble. And
He
that's why
put
we
Jimmy
are
in
where we are.
hospital.
Now, when's the last time we've seen Jimmy? 2 weeks ago?
Since he got attacked,
We
really.
haven't seen him since then.
Do we expect to see Jimmy at SummerSlam?
Probably at SummerSlam.
Probably, I imagine he would.
To neutralise Solo.
If not SummerSlam,
Maybe
maybe this
or is he going to turn on Jimmy? On Jey?
Not to say. This is something you can't say 100% this is going to
Yeah.
happen. This is
There's always-
leading to so many pathways.
There's always another
And
plot
then we
twist.
kind of got that cross finisher with Roman hitting the spear and Solo hit the spike at the same
Yeah.
time as well.
Yep.
Twice.
They did it twice.
Yeah. And I hate to admit it, but Jay's got a decent spear on him.
He
He's
does.
got
Yeah.
more than a decent spear on him.
Probably better than Roman.
Once again, he outshone Roman on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He killed it on the
The Usos
microphone.
have always been solid on the mic since day
Yeah.
one. Pun intended, but yeah.
Jimmy has carried this storyline, in my opinion, for the last 3 months.
Jimmy or Jay?
Jay, yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
He's back there. He's back there. I think whatever.
Just the dreads.
We forget that we've got another. Well, we don't forget, but we should remember that we've got one more SmackDown to go before
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. But Jay's cemented now. I think whatever happens at SummerSlam, Jay. Not that he wasn't before, but now Jay is cemented. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Jay going into another feud with someone else after SummerSlam.
I'd say it, yeah.
I can't see the match ending clean at the moment.
No,
No
Roman.
Roman matches.
When's the last time a Roman match has ended clean? Logan Paul? Was that
Not
clean?
even that. There was a lot of outside interference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Logan's boys and then the whole bloodline.
You had Solo.
No, that's Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
You had Solo. You had the Uso. The only clean match probably would have been the match with Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber.
No, even then there were ref bumps.
Yeah, the ref bump.
and KSI.
That was
For Seth Rollins, yeah.
Seth Rollins. That was Logan
I
Paul.
was talking about Roman.
Just Roman.
Oh, for
I
Roman,
was saying his last clean match would have been Sami at Elimination Chamber, but then thinking about it,
Ref bump.
this still wasn't really clean. Like, I don't think he's had.
I think anything with a ref bump, it doesn't count as clean.
All of them ended up the same. Ref
That's
bump.
it.
There's always the ref bump.
Even to go far as back as his initial feud with Jay in 2020, or
That's what I was thinking.
when Jimmy had to come in and stop him from doing more damage to him.
I
And
think
then the
that-
throwing of the towel.
I think
and
that was
the
probably
Iron Grip match was.
It's
that was probably the cleanest it was.
Probably shows consistency, like he's kept it for this long, but he's never been able to do it.
But that's the beauty of WWE. All the heel runs are always the longest in title runs. There's never been a face one.
Of course, because you don't like to see, you always love seeing the face chase and get to the destination.
Yeah.
Not the destination moment.
The destiny of
Like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the fans usually do turn on the face once they become
That's
champion.
it. They get over the good guy being on top. They like seeing him fighting from under.
Yeah, because the fans can be pretty fickle.
Yeah, but overall, solid match. Solid show, I should say. Solid show.
It will be
Like
solos.
a solo show.
Yeah.
Lately, they've been doing very little matches on SmackDown for the last
Month.
3 weeks.
Three,
Yeah.
three to four maximum.
Yeah, which I find a bit odd, but it hasn't been bad at all.
No.
As long as everything's leading to something.
And as long as everything makes sense.
Yeah, as long as these promos and videos are going towards storylines and make us interested, it's fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll see
Sometimes
more
less is more.
Yeah, we'll see more of that on Raw.
That's it.
Very promo heavy. It was
Mm.
very good.
Yeah, but we'll move on to Raw
What
now.
did happen on Raw?
The show started off with
Judgment Day.
Logan Paul and Ricochet.
I was used to Raw starting off the Judgment Day. There's that.
Yeah.
Logan Paul Ricochet.
That happened straight after, but
Yeah, Logan Paul Ricochet.
and Logan Paul getting a bit personal, saying Samantha Irvine's going to be calling his name after the match.
Logan Paul has not had a singles victory.
Only against The Miz.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been exactly what
He's
SummerSlam
technically on a 1 year losing streak.
will be 1 year since his last singles victory.
I know we'll get to the predictions, but is it hard to say Logan has to win this?
I think it's hard to say
I don't think he
Ricochet.
has to win
I don't think
anything.
he has to, yeah.
I know people just... He's great on the mic, always bounces back, as we can see the last year. Like, I think people just love to see him lose.
Yeah.
The fans love it.
But I did go on record, I think last week or the week before maybe. He will be, you can call him a superstar.
Mhm.
He's definitely a wrestler superstar. That once you do get that hint of him turning face, I think the fans will be right with him.
They had that glimpse with The Miz and Roman.
But even against Roman, he was still mostly mixed.
Yeah.
Like a mixed reaction from the crowd.
Hmm.
I think the only time he probably would have been cheered was when he was going against The Miz.
Yeah, but overall, it's leading up good. Ricochet's getting huge pops as well.
It's probably the most...
Been his best work.
Yeah, it's the most meaningful program Ricochet has been put in
Since
he's
NXT.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
And even then, he's held titles on the main roster.
Mm,
Yeah,
And
it's not
we're
as-
saying this is
This is
the
almost
most
me.
important
Yeah.
storyline.
definitely. And never know, with my predictions every week saying whoever gets in with a celebrity gets the benefit of
Gets
it.
a rub.
Well, there you go.
So, things
Leaves it
looking
open.
Yeah. And next up we had Ludwig Kaiser versus Matt Riddle,
Wow.
with Gunther wanting Ludwig to redeem himself for embarrassing Imperium last week.
Very convincing.
Yeah.
Great match.
We did get Matt Riddle hit a German suplex.
We did.
Yeah, that was a nice wink. Ludwig there, I get once again, we will get into the predictions. It's going to be very interesting to see interference and the finish to that McIntyre
Gunther match.
Gunther match. They're winking a bit, aren't they, Imperium? They are winking. Had a bit of dissension in the ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw that again, even though Ludwig did get the win. So that's going to be very interesting to see.
And it's funny to see how quick they cool off those winks.
Yeah.
Say, oh, there's no dissension. We're all equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not even that, like, how classy is Ludwig in the ring?
He's classy.
He's been one of the most underrated guys in Raw for a long time,
Yeah.
and people are picking up on
I
it.
still want to see more of Giovanni because I've seen him pull some stuff that I've actually really enjoyed. So hopefully he can get like more singles matches in there as well.
Do we see a split coming soon?
No.
Not just
No, not now.
Especially with the bloodline blowing up.
I think with a lot of these factions, I think Cam might have pointed out, it might still be the best part of 3 months away, but Survivor Series. Still a Survivor Series. So you'd still think a lot of these factions, most of them at least, would still be intact come Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we're moving to the next section. We had Backstage Dupree versus John.
Valhalla, holla, holla.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That was the thing I was going to do. No.
So Gunther's going to join the Viking Raiders, is he?
Probably will be.
Chop him into place, that's for sure.
Well, what do you think of that match?
Entertaining.
It was like, it wasn't the greatest match from a wrestling standpoint, considering Maxine has just started out in the ring. But it was entertaining.
I will say, like, I know she's gorgeous and she's very pretty to look at, but she was so adorable when she was doing the worm.
Yes, Gina.
She was so cute, man.
It was so funny.
Just the way she did the jiggle, then she went into the worm.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so
It's a mirror. Does she have 2 left feet?
Yeah, she had to stop.
She looked very
She
awkward.
got a degree
I
angle.
think she plays on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of awkwardness.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Maxine got the win in her first singles match.
First singles match.
But
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good for their standards.
Yeah.
Valhalla, she is one of the veterans, so she can carry Maxine.
Yeah.
And Maxine held her own.
Yeah, definitely. But not long after that, it led to a backstage segment where Gable was offered a 5-minute match with Gunther later on.
Or did they say it looked like Barbie Ben Oppenheimer? Yeah, in that back segment.
He did have the all black.
Yeah. And so when you go to the cinema, you see both crowds.
Yeah. But hey, Gunther technically got his first loss.
Well, did he lose? Is it
counted as a
That
loss?
didn't count.
It's a draw.
that didn't
It
count?
wouldn't count as a match. He was restarted.
What was the stipulation on the match?
That Gunther
Just
could beat
survive 5
Gable.
minutes.
Gunther said that he can beat Gable in 5 minutes. Yeah. And then after the 5 minutes, Gunther complained that the match should continue on. It doesn't end like this. And
Out of nowhere.
seems like Gunther's got a bit of authority in the backstage.
Someone said that. It's almost he's taken over Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
If it was for Adam Pearce showing up later in the show, do you think he was the matchmaker?
You think he's the general, no
Yeah,
pun
there you go.
But how amazing was that match?
Oh, man. Great.
I think it's leading up to me picking Gable to be the one to dethrone him.
Could be.
People were saying that. People were
So
saying
you know what they're doing with that match?
It
They've
was a showcase.
planted the seeds already.
Mhm.
They know what they're doing that match.
But yeah,
I really enjoy when Gunther gets up on the announcer's desk.
Yeah.
It just shows authority.
Yeah.
It just shows he's above everybody. I love it.
Yep.
And the crowd are showing reception to him when he gets up there and starts talking.
shows him to be the real ring general.
But you say Judgment Day run Raw, then over on SmackDown you got the Usos and the Bloodline and whatever that is at the moment. But Gunther is that demanding figure.
Mm-hmm.
He's that demanding figure. Maybe are they trying to tell us he doesn't need Imperium anymore? I know I just said I can't see him breaking up anytime soon, but as good as Ludwig Kaiser and what's the other bloke? Giovanni. Yeah, Gunther doesn't really need anyone.
No, it doesn't. But it helps to add depth to his storylines.
Yeah.
It does.
But yeah, even then, even with Gunther defending his title, he hasn't had Ludwig or Giovanni really interfere in his matches
No.
that
He
much.
always wins clean, which is something you don't always see from a heel.
Very Brock Lesnar like.
Yeah.
Very
Plays to his
Brock Lesnar.
character.
Yeah, like very Brock Lesnar, like even Mark Henry 2011
Yeah.
doesn't have to cheat to
The
win.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Plays to his character.
Yeah, like he has
He's
this like,
never,
higher class version of wrestling.
and then he's been consistently booked like that. You've
Yeah.
got to give props to Triple H, how he's been handling Gunther.
Yeah. I think since you done NXT UK, it's always worked, and it's always been one of like Triple H's prized positions since
Yeah,
development.
it's,
Sure.
well, you got to figure it. NXT UK was his baby.
Yeah.
So he took care of anyone who came up through that system because they believed in him to make that show one of the better shows on weekly WWE programming.
And yeah, we'll move into the next section. We had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Tommaso Ciampa, with Shinsuke getting the dirty win at the end there.
He's just about cemented as a heel.
Yeah,
That would have proved
I said
Yeah.
it since the start.
Yeah, you called him again, Cameron. Yeah, he's cemented as a heel. Ciampa, I don't know where they're going with him. I guess they're kind of in a holding pattern, but
That's it.
probably says a little bit more about Shinsuke.
But yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure where they're going with that whole storyline in general. Because obviously they're both going to be in the Rumble, but Bronson's not going to be in the Rumble as well.
No, yeah,
we don't know yet.
Yeah, they've only got a few names.
Unless they announced like 5 or 6
Like
the night before.
How many
Yeah.
names are expected to be in there? Would you say
Probably
20?
20.
20.
You never know.
Battle Royals.
We might see Tatanka in the ring too.
Tatanka.
This
Oh,
weekend.
jeez.
Oh yeah, I remember that run he had into the
So
other
he's
6.
officially known as Big Bad Bronson
Big,
Reed.
no, he's big. Big because we're all blind apparently.
Oh,
We don't know that he's big. We don't know that he's 300 plus pounds.
well, we did get another nickname later in the show as well.
Which one?
Oh, there was a bit of a sit down, wasn't there? Or was that on SmackDown? Lashley.
Lashley?
SmackDown. That was on SmackDown with the Street
Yeah.
Profits.
Yeah,
Mm.
Big Money Bobby.
Big money.
So we've got Big Money Bobby, then we've got Big Bronson Reed.
We've got
and,
Dirty Dom.
and John, you called it off the podcast last week. This is Vince. This is Vince now.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
And
Anthony.
Anthony said it was.
Anthony called it. This is Vince now with these nicknames.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe
that's all
it's-
his idea.
Maybe it's 3.5 years booking. That's why they got rid of Big Show so they can make room for Big Bronson.
100%.
Are we see 10 face turns from him?
Thank God he's not 7 feet tall, huh? But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next week after SummerSlam for them.
That probably would be the
Maybe a
climax.
Gargano return night after.
Maybe it could be a
Leading
surprise.
towards it.
Maybe it could be a surprise entrant in the Battle Royal. We never know.
Maybe I don't know. I'd like to say maybe they somehow find between now and SummerSlam or the night after SummerSlam to find a reason to get Ciampa to find a mystery partner.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to say when you can't really tell a storyline during a battle royal like that.
Yeah, it's hard to do it in the Battle Royal. Would be difficult.
Unless it's a big down angle and he returns.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the next section because it's leading to nowhere at the moment, that storyline. But I don't want to call it a match, but technically it was a match between Becky and Trish Stratus.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what the hell's going on there?
So she's staying.
Yeah.
Trish is staying post SummerSlam.
Well, the match. So, Cam, you're going to run us down what happened and then what happened with Adam Pearce afterwards.
So obviously, because Becky won last week against Zoe Stark, she gets a match against Trish Stratus. As far as we all knew, we thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Apparently, Trish's nose.
Well, they
Yeah,
never
yeah.
said SummerSlam.
2 weeks.
They never said SummerSlam. They said
That's what we
she
all
will
assumed.
get a match.
So, like Cameron's saying that's what we assumed it'd be at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But then Adam Pearce said 2 weeks. Now, SummerSlam, technically, I guess from when Raw was a week, definitely not 2 weeks away, SummerSlam. No way.
It's in Canada.
So this has come down to Trish's nose hasn't healed yet.
Possibly. There was a bit of a bruising on it, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that was from when Becky hit Trish's head on the table there while the mask was on.
It did look Trish was a bit pissed off
It did a little.
with like when she got Becky down to the floor. When the camera went to Trish, she did look a bit more angry than you think she would be about this storyline.
Yeah. But
Weird
yeah,
one.
but it was just so good with Adam Pearce announcing that the match was going to happen tonight.
Right
And
now.
then it's, a matter of 2 seconds in, it was already a DQ.
Yeah,
So
Stark.
jumped in.
They're like they're buying time.
Yeah.
And once again, not to repeat myself, but it leads back to Trish I think is legitimately injured. That nose hasn't healed. She's had problems with her nose in the past as well.
Yeah, she's had that face gun before.
Yeah.
What was it, 05?
04.
Late 04, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an injury curse happening in WWE right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the storylines.
Who's got the worst injury curse, WWE or the Bulldogs?
At the moment,
Bulldogs.
WWE. At the moment, WWE, because Bulldogs actually getting players back.
Yeah, but still, Bulldogs had, 14 players out?
Yeah, I think Bronson Reed came out and said...
WWE's only had 3 or 4.
Well, who is the Chris Bartolo of the WWE?
Bronson Reed.
Well, we all know that Cody Rhodes is William kick out because of the blonde hair and the Tom Beck.
My father is Dusty Kickout.
But yeah, now the match has been announced for next week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So in Canada.
Yeah, Winnipeg.
Yep.
So it's not on Raw,
Winnipeg,
it's on the
yeah.
Raw after. It's on 2 Raws after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I think that means Trish was retired for good after that, because why else would they have let the match take place in Canada?
And what a hate moment would it be for Zoe to turn on Trish after she loses in Winnipeg?
The Winnipeg Screwjob.
Oh,
Like, do the crowd cheer her or don't cheer her?
They'll boo the crap out of Zoe Starr.
Just their home girl.
Trish goes away, and Zoe
Is a staying.
Zoe's that big heel now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense, because I don't see why else they'd want to have this match take place in Canada if, it means Trish.
Well, for the last
I think,
year,
I, think, I think it's the only thing that makes sense, because you can't go on any other Raw show unless it's in Canada.
yeah, especially if it is her last match.
Yeah, because remember, how many months was it we were hearing that Edge was apparently going to retire in Canada? It looks like we're going
That was supposed to be this. That was supposed to be next. Yes, sorry, that cut you off. That was supposed to be
That show.
that same show.
Yeah. So what's that? Is Winnipeg next week or the week after?
Week after.
So
So not this.
Wait,
coming
so-
Monday.
Is
The
it
next-
not right after SummerSlam?
wasn't the Raw after SummerSlam supposed to be in Toronto?
No, it was.
Where is Raw next week? Does it? I'm going to look it up. Did you guys
Because I
continue?
think
I'm going to look it up.
that Raw episode they're taking to Winnipeg was the one that was supposed to be. In
Yeah, it'll probably be a bit hard.
That's in Toronto at the time. I'm probably mistaken, but
It would probably be a bit too hard for them to go to Toronto right after they just did a big stadium show in Knoxville.
That's
Oh, sorry, Detroit.
in Detroit. Yeah.
And Knoxville was last year. wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Last year was
Raw is in Minneapolis next week.
That's right. Yeah.
So then it's at Winnipeg after.
SmackDown's in Calgary. That'll be the first SmackDown after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And you guys are right. Raw is in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
SmackDown is in Toronto, August the 18th.
That was the one that was pitched to be Edge's final
Yes.
match.
So I might see something there.
There's a super
Maybe.
show in Ottawa. Shout out to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, August the 19th.
So that's just a house show.
August the 21st, Raw is in Quebec. 2 sprinters to Quebec. So there you go. What's that there in Canada for a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time we've had back-to-back rules
Yeah.
out of the country.
Wow.
Been a very long time.
I don't think it's happened.
I think this is the most they've done the weekly and pay-per-view shows overseas.
Well, they are
Well,
on
this is the first American show
Since
in the
Since
States.
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Since
3
WrestleMania.
months.
Because what Backlash was in Puerto Rico,
Night
Night
of
of
the
Champions,
Champions,
Saudi.
Money in the Bank in London.
Yeah.
Home turf finally.
Yeah, about time. Yeah. Any thoughts on that? So, who you guys reckon is going to win in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks' time,
Becky.
I see Becky beating Trish, and I agree with Archie. Zoe will turn on Becky. Zoe will turn on
I
Trish.
think it'll be that good of a match, but the crowd, not that they won't already cheer Trish since she is the hometown girl, the home country girl,
But they have more of
but
a.
I think it's just going to be a great match and Trish's going to be really competitive, especially if we know it's going to be a final match. You're probably going to get that ovation at the end, and then Zoe whacks her from behind, I reckon.
And that's how they write her off.
I think so. Because you may as well write him off because Lita was written off in a sort of a very low way.
Yeah, like in the backstage.
Stage segment.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah.
I think me and Cameron were talking about it when Trish originally retired. Didn't she win she won the women's title in Canada, wasn't it?
Yep, up to give it 2006.
So they'll do the same. They'll do the same thing again. She'll step away for good in front of her home fans, but she'll lose. She'll put over.
Yep.
I imagine she'll put over Becky. Then probably Zoe Stark will attack her.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move into the last match of the night. We had a tag team match of Dirty Dom, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn.
Who got pinned?
Damian
Damian
Priest.
Priest.
Is there some kind of theory the Money in the Bank holder gets pinned? They
Successfully cash in.
or they cash in relatively quickly afterwards.
Well, especially with that hesitation from
Yeah.
Finn.
Yeah, that's
I know there was hesitation, but he still gave in to it.
He did. He
I
took
think-
his time
I
when
think-
Seth was
I
vulnerable.
think that's how they keep Damian looking strong despite him getting pinned. Because it took him getting distracted by Finn, taking his sweet time,
That's
handing over the briefcase.
There's dissension.
There's
in
dissect.
not the bloodline.
In
There
the
is in the
Judgment
bloodline,
Day.
but the Judgment Day as well. I know we'll get into the predictions, but I think that's going to play a big part in
A very,
the main
big,
event of
very,
SummerSlam.
very big
Yeah.
part.
But not only that, speaking of like a couple of weeks back when there was a bit of tension in that last tag team match between KO, Sami and Judgment Day,
Yep.
I think they added more tension to it with Damian Priest getting busted open at the end there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was they got a bit of heat in the backstage after the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to see what's going to happen next. And while we're on the topic of Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio retained against Wesley and Mustafa Ali.
I didn't expect that. I actually thought Wes was going to retain. I thought there was just a little ratings boost for. But I know they're hot on Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
And he could be the one, especially with Ray in the corner. Ray will play a big part in that match.
If
Yeah,
he is going to be
I
there.
think so. I think he will be.
Even though since Don will have a Judgment Day,
Yeah.
some sort of Judgment Day members in his corner.
Yeah, so I was actually really shocked with that. Because I didn't read the spoilers. I watched probably an hour after it came out.
Yeah.
So I wasn't fresh to the internet. But yeah, it's surprising Dom's still the champion. So how long has it been since he's been pinned on pay-per-view? Mania?
Dominic?
Yeah.
Dominic,
Yeah,
the Cody Rhodes match.
Oh, yes.
Money in the Bank. Was it Money in the Bank or Saudi?
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
But yeah, I feel like soon enough, Judgment Day's going to implode.
Could happen.
Sooner rather than later.
Or at least one of them will get kicked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, we'll go into the predictions of things.
Oh, and also there was the Cody and Brock segment.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Again, Cody's getting a huge reaction from the crowd.
Always.
Brock shook his hand too, didn't he?
That's what I was going to mention.
Yeah, because
Brock shook his hand.
when Brock came out to the ring first and he cut a bit of a promo, he said, Cody, I would respect it if you came out here and you shook my hand.
Did Brock call himself the World Heavyweight Champion or something?
Yeah, he was naming all
He's
his
naming all his
his
accomplishments.
accolades.
His
Okay.
accolades.
A few people took that as if he thought he was the current World Heavyweight Champion.
I don't know, he had dementia.
Because he did say, like a former champion.
Former, yeah.
And
Sorry,
NCAA.
yeah. I don't think he said the former too clearly, but yeah.
No, he didn't.
Sorry, that's just me.
I think
It's weird when Haber does it to the accomplishments.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move into SummerSlam now. We'll go, speaking of Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, what's everyone's predictions for that? Ev?
So we're going to go. We'll go Anthony and then we'll go around.
I reckon to finish it off, keep Cody, or still going to be looking strong after it. I reckon Cody will get his comeuppance on Brock, keep him looking good for whatever comes next. He's a bit of a shot in the dark. We've been hearing a lot of rumours about Bray Wyatt potentially returning. People speculating which match it could be. It could be with that match, Cody and Brock. It could be somehow with him and Roman and Jay. I feel like it could be Brock and Cody. We'll see
Bray?
Bray Wyatt as whatever form he wishes to be. And that could potentially be Cody's next feud. Leading into Survivor Series or Royal Rumble.
Yep.
See that coming up.
Yeah. Joe, how about yourself?
I think Cody will win. To echo Anthony's sentiments, Cody will win. And we'll get Bray Wyatt after the match. Listen, you can't ignore the Uncle Howdy tweet.
Yeah, Archie.
I'm going to be on the same boat with you. Cody wins. I will say this feud has dragged out too much. Cody needs to get away from Brock now.
Yeah.
Brock needs to go back to wait till WrestleMania time to come back out. Cody wins, but I think we see the Fiend the night after on Raw. Cody comes out the promo saying he conquered the beast, and another beast appears.
Yeah, John, how about yourself?
Yeah, I see Cody winning this match. He's got to win this feud because he's got to look good to continue to finish the story, as he keeps saying. But then I agree with Anthony and Joe, I think we'll see a certain Hookah Howdy come out after the match, whoever you want to call him. And then they'll probably set up a feud with Cody, considering with what we've been hearing about reports and the tweet from Uncle Howdy.
Yeah. I'm going the other way. I think
winning.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Brock winning. I think Cody's still going to have the downfall for the year till he comes back up near the end of the year.
Like John Cena in 2012.
Yeah,
Do you see Bray interference?
possibly. But I still, like, even in general, I think Brock's going to get the upper hand.
Well, if you're going with the downfall thing, and if Bray is his next feud, hopefully that means we can see Bray Wyatt win more than anything.
Yeah. Because I think I was saying that last week. If Cody does feud with Bray Wyatt after this, it would not hurt to have him lose to Bray because, so like Cameron just said, he will have a bit of a downfall, and then at the end he will bounce back very strong. Like I just said, John Cena 2012, and I think even you mentioned it as well.
Yeah, as soon as Mania 39 finished, and we didn't get what we want. I saw the similarities.
Yeah.
Cody looking up, seeing the celebration from the dominant Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't sit right with him, and he knew this isn't done yet.
Yeah.
And we'll move into the next match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight title.
Finn Balor wins this. It'll be a very good match, I reckon. Won't be many interferences until, what I think, after Finn wins, we see Damian Priest possibly cash in, try to cash in, and then that will set in stone the crumbling of Judgment Day.
Yeah, Joe?
We'll see Finn win. With all due respect to Finn, he very believable for Finn to win clean. We will see Judgment Day interference, in my opinion, and we'll get a. We think Roman and Jay will be the main event, obviously.
Well,
Yeah,
they're saying it was a lot of main events.
But we think the last match will be Roman and Jay.
Yeah, it will be.
But I think after Finn wins, we'll see a celebration and we'll see Damien there with the briefcase. And, ladies and gentlemen, start the awkwardness engines, because I think from that point on, that'll be the eventual downfall of Judgment Day. Or the breakup of Judgment Day.
Archie?
I say Finn winning, but like I said last week, I think Finn's going to have a shorter title reign than he did when he won the Universal Championship. I think it's leading towards Damien finally pulling the trigger, and the Judgment Day pulling the trigger on Finn. Finn hasn't carried his load. Everyone else has something to show that they've achieved something. Finn's failed, but once he gets it, Damien wants more.
Yeah.
So how long do you see Finn holding the title for?
Couple minutes.
5 minutes.
5
minutes. That's
Wow, far.
another 7 year itch begins.
Yeah, and the 7-year bitch, as they called it.
John, how about yourself?
Yeah, I see Finn winning the match. I think he'll win dirty. We'll see a lot of interference from the rest of the Judgment Day, and Finn will get his revenge on Seth Rollins, but it will be very short-lived because Damian Priest will pull the trigger, cash in on Finn Balor, and at least, like I just said, I think Finn will get kicked out of Judgment Day, and at least in feuding with Damian.
And I do see Finn wanted to even up the odds. He brings his mate, JD McDonough.
Yeah.
Finally.
Good
Cam,
call.
how about you?
I'm agreeing with Finn winning.
Yep.
I just don't think the cash-in is going to happen.
Not yet?
Night after?
I think they're going to give Judgment Day a bit of glory at least.
Okay.
Have them holding something all together at
Let
least.
it build, let it fester.
Yeah.
Let it in.
Nothing hurts with a bit of the long burn.
And plus, Seth's done everything he's needed to do for that title for the initial run.
It is.
All we need to, I think it's time for someone else to be in the main picture. And just what needs to be done.
And like just quickly on rumor has it, apparently Seth has been having back issues recently, and there's a chance he could take a bit of time off. So if that's just say that does happen, SummerSlam's a good time to take a title off him.
Seth, in my opinion, sorry to cut you off, John. Seth, in my opinion, hasn't looked 100% fit in quite a while.
Yeah, he doesn't need a
you
break.
can tell.
The guy's been a freaking workhorse for the past 6 years on Raw. I think.
Even in general, since the Shield onwards.
Yeah. So I think he'll probably get a bit of time off after this to recuperate, freshen up. Then he'll come back. We'll see him somewhere down the track.
Yeah, to touch on wood, he hasn't been injured since his knee gave out
Against
in
Kane.
2015.
Yeah.
So you got to give it to him. He's kept himself healthy.
Yeah.
So, like, you'd think the body does catch up and probably more fatigue than anything right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave some of the bigger matches to the end, but we'll move into the SummerSlam Battle Royale.
Well, currently we don't know
I'll
too
give,
many.
I'll give you the names that's in there already. You've got LA Knight, Sheamus, Ciampa, Shinsuke Nakamura, Otis, and Chad Gable.
Currently standing, they have to pull the trigger on LA Knight. I don't know how much prestige winning a Battle Royale holds,
Sometimes it gives them a title shot down the track.
but with that being said, I still feel like LA Knight will come up top, have a huge crowd pop, everyone behind him. But we still have one more SmackDown to go, so maybe that'll change. But yeah.
Joe?
LA Knight, but once again, echo Anthony's sentiments. I wouldn't be surprised to see on SmackDown a stipulation for a title,
Or the winner becomes a more contender.
US title,
Oh, yeah.
because they've really got to push the trigger on LA Knight now.
Mm-hmm.
Archie, didn't you say you have a thought?
Yeah. So I'm going to get, as much as I'm sick of predicting he's going to win stuff because he never does, LA Knight. So I'm going to steer away from losing that point in the predictions. I'm going to go Grayson Waller. I know he hasn't been announced yet, but you'd think he would be. He's not. He's getting hype on the mic. He's getting a bit of attention. He needs to be somehow involved. So get him in there. I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to brand on the mic after. And I think we're going to get Randall Keith or long shot The Rock.
Yeah, fair enough.
Grayson Waller, Rob.
John?
I think I'll see LA Knight winning the match. And then I think straight after the match, after the crowd stops wildly celebrating, he will cut a promo and he will call out the winner of the US title match and to say, I'm coming for you, I'm coming to take the title.
We usually go for a risque bet, but I'm sticking safe and I'm just going to pick LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just a safe option at this point.
Well, he's been a safe option for the last 3 pay-per-views. So
According to Triple H, good things come to those who wait. So
I'll wait next year.
we've waited too long for this.
I'll wait next year when he's in the next Slim Jim Memorial Battle Royal.
Or is it the next Mountain Dew, Pitch Black, whatever you want to call it
Pitch
match?
Black, Cherry, Dr. Pepper,
Cherry Cola,
cereal match.
the Dark Side Cola match.
Next match, we have the MMA match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
I know we didn't cover it, but that was a really good
That
hype
promo,
promo.
yeah.
They got me really interested.
That was really good.
Who
Yeah.
called it was going to be a combat fight match?
I think it was maybe.
Yeah, it was
I think a few of us even said it because I think me and Anthony both also suggested why don't they do the fight pit or the
It needs to have some sort of stipulation.
Because they keep saying they're not resting, they're
They're
fighting. They're
fighting.
going to have a
And
fight.
they're fighters, so let's put that element into it.
Yeah, they did it with Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins.
but it's called the MMA rules match. So what exactly are
Submission
Well,
only.
that's like UFC coming out and saying it's a professional wrestling rules match.
so that's what I want to know. What exactly are the rules supposed to be for this MMA rules
Whatever
match?
the MMA rules are. Cam, you're a bit more
So that
Research on it.
only win by knockout or submission.
knockout or submission.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be just a knockout
There'll be
or submission win.
rounds. There'll be rounds.
No, I doubt it.
You don't think so?
No.
I think there'll be
I
rounds.
reckon they go
It'll be
too
also
far.
in-
It'll break up the drama. It'll break up the drama.
No, it'll be the old school UFC where they had to be finished to win.
Really?
Yeah. But you never know. Might get a special guest referee like Herb Dean, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe that's Ken Shamrock, Daniel Cormier again.
Maybe Brock Lesnar.
Mark Hunt.
Lesnar's not doing much at SummerSlam. Don't do that.
He's not having a match with the Saturday Night Man.
We might get Ronda's wife, Travis Brown.
Holly Holman.
We'll get Amanda Nunes.
Yeah. But predictions for that match, everyone?
Considering we've heard a lot of rumours about Ronda setting a hard date for her release not too long after SummerSlam. Shayna's again, would you call it a face push? It's been back and forth.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
switched, but I think
I don't even know
Shayna's...
anymore.
Yeah.
I think Shayna's the downright face.
It's funny though, even with that promo that happened, you had Ronda crying like a face.
Yeah.
But I remember someone writing on Twitter, Ronda could cry all she wants, she's not the face in this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like Shayna will come on top of this because it plays into the story how,
And if there's anyone that needs a push, it is Shayna.
Exactly.
yeah, I've never seen as dominant, like, full-on push from Shayna since NXT.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe, thoughts?
I don't know how, and I don't know why, and I don't know where they're going with it afterwards. I just say Ronda winning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arch?
Shayna needs to win. Ronda will do the honours for her best friend on the way out. I don't know if this is the end of Ronda in WWE, but her going away for a little bit. Hey, Ken?
So let's hope so.
Let's just hope so for a while. So if she does come back, we're a bit refreshed and we forget the bad times.
Mm-hmm. John, same.
Yeah, I'd say Shayna will win. She needs a big moment on the main roster because how many times has she looked so good and then at the end they just don't do anything with her, especially when it came to her debut.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it she had the Elimination Chamber match in 2020 where she destroyed everybody?
But that was over. That was over the top stupid. Like,
Yeah.
She buried 5 people.
Yeah.
She buried 5 people.
And then what happened at the end? She ended up losing at Mania, didn't she, or something?
To Becky?
Was it to Becky? 2020? Yes, it was, because Becky...
A roll-up. It was a roll-up or something. It wasn't convincing.
Yeah, because not long after that was when Becky had to drop the title because of...
After Money in the Bank.
internally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like they never did anything good with it, and I think this is probably the best time to do it.
Yeah.
Have her beat Ronda, and then hopefully they continue to do something good with it. But yeah, I see Shayna.
And let's not forget the initial push with the NXT invasion as well, where she took out Becky.
Yeah, I think she beat her and she made her bleed. I think I remember. Apparently, she took a bite out of Becky's ear or some shit.
Just in general, her NXT run was perfect for her.
Yeah.
Dominant.
Yeah.
It was a heel figure that they needed as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be quick with mine. I'm just going to pick Shayna as well.
Yeah,
I think
fair
it's
enough.
what's needed, it's what's due. And yeah, from a creative perspective,
Makes sense to have Shayna.
makes sense.
Yeah, of course it does.
Next up, we have the Ring General, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre.
Anthony.
Do I say Gunther retains?
Yes, sir.
Because, he has is a honky tonk man's record?
He's closing in very fast.
Are they really gonna?
Let's set 'em up.
It's like 417 days now, something like that.
Are they gonna take it away from him so close?
No.
I can't.
They'd be shitty at this point.
Yeah.
If they were going to take the title off him before he gets close to Honky Tonk, they would have done it a while ago.
Yeah.
They would have done it at Mania.
See, saying Gunther wins, the only question that comes to my mind, who goes after him after Drew? Because Drew has this really long time story with him since
Who comes after Gunther?
Chad Gable.
Gable.
Chad Gable.
I was going to say Bron Breaker.
That's if we see him.
After Mania. After SummerSlam.
Well, that was my prediction, was Bron Breakker to come back at SummerSlam, but I can't see anything else like that.
When's the last time you've been seen on television?
It was on NXT last week. But it wasn't on a match, a Great American Bash,
Sorry, what I meant is, when's the last time he's wrestled? Did he wrestle at NXT?
2 weeks ago.
Ilya Dragunov, he had the
Yeah.
match with, wasn't it?
He's a talent as well, that Dragon.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
talk about Gunther. They brought out the best of each other in those NXT UK matches.
Yeah, not only that, they even started a rumour that Dragunov could actually join Imperium.
I like that.
I'd like to see that.
After the hard fought battles, why not?
Oh yeah, because they definitely got each other's respect after that. I'll tell you what.
Because they did shake hands after the match.
They
didn't
did. Yeah. That was the first time Gunther got pinned
Yeah,
through Dragunov.
yeah. But predictions, you say Gunther?
I'll see Gunther winning.
Yeah. Joe?
Gunther winning. Yeah, Gunther being McIntyre.
Arch?
Gunther.
Yeah, I'll say Gunther. I reckon he'll break the record and then he'll lose it.
I'm still sticking to him losing that Rumble.
That's
Yeah,
just dropping at Mania. Make it a big moment.
There's one saying Rumble because he's going to win the Rumble.
And challenge for that. That's what I was
For the
saying.
World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
We were saying that
That's
before.
what I'll do.
Have Gunther
Bit of
lose.
this idea.
Like a little bit of
straight
fantasy,
into a main card push.
like a bit of a fantasy booking a solid 6 to 7 months out. You'd probably say Gunther wins the Rumble, challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship at Mania.
Also makes Cody's race to the World Heavyweight Championship a bit more
Hard.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A bit
because
more earned.
because I'd say Gunther wins the Rumble, challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship, and a month later at Elimination Chamber, they have the Chamber match, winner challenges Roman.
Yeah.
And that's how you get Cody his rematch.
Cam?
Bit of fantasy.
In general.
Gunther?
The Ring General. Yeah.
There's 5 more members of the Imperium
All
here.
in the board.
And a 10 out of 10 commentary for Corey Graves for that night, guaranteed.
Better than Booker T Great American Bash.
Oh, Shakadaki quack quack.
Enjoyed every minute of
Yeah,
it.
that's fun.
I never thought I'd hear that again, but
Shakadaki quack
alas.
Yeah. Next match. Logan Paul versus Ricochet. F.
This is a hard one for me. I can't see who would come on top. Like Ricochet, this is probably the strongest he's looked, even more than he had US title. IC title. I see a bit more towards Ricochet winning, just on the fact that I haven't seen him like this in a while. I'm very keen to see how they go after this. Maybe Intercontinental title run after. No idea, but yeah.
Anyways, keep going.
Ricochet putting over. Ricochet getting one over Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Really good thoughts, Anthony. Thank you. Logan Paul just because he has to. Logan Paul just because he has to. Logan Paul just because he has to. It's got to win one. Ricochet, in all seriousness, what Anthony said, yeah, it's going to be an awkward / shitty situation, but I think we're going to get a lot of that. Not so much two-way booking at SummerSlam, but you can go either way on a couple and there'll be worthy candidates in most matches. However, I see Logan Paul, he just has to win one. So he hasn't won one in a year.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a spot fest as well.
Definitely.
I think that, yeah, so I think they are going to try to recreate the Rumble moment.
And then some.
And then the moment at Money in
they'll bring ladders and
Money in the Bank as well, yeah.
I think Ricochet wins. But I don't know. I'd like to see Logan win, but I feel like Ricochet needs the win because you can't really pinpoint a certain pay-per-view where he's won something.
Exactly.
I think he just needs to get this one. And Logan doesn't need to win. Logan, he's lost for a year now, let's be honest. And the heat hasn't died down with him.
No.
It's like you just said.
It'll probably be done until Rumble comes anyway. So it's not going to hurt his booking.
Because like you're saying as well, you just like you said before, the fans love to see Logan Paul lose. So
What a way to get Ricochet over than having one of the more hated people lose to him.
yeah. It's
John? You on feelings are mutual or?
I'm very much on the fence because I agree with what Joe says where Logan does need to win because he hasn't won a match in SummerSlam or Mark 1 since he beat The Miz. And then I agree with Archie because Ricochet also needs a win because he's never won any feuds on the main roster. He's never
Tell me a pay-per-view other than that one with Braun Strowman, he's won something.
Exactly, I can't
remember.
And I don't even remember when he won the IC title before it the Gunther. Was it on an episode of SmackDown?
I think it was SmackDown.
So I don't know. If you had to twist my arm and if you had to say flip a coin, I'd say Ricochet.
Okay. I'm sticking to the safe bet and just going to stick with Ricochet. Yeah. So, there has to be one celebrity that has to lose majority of the time. And it seems to be Logan. I'll keep it short and sweet.
I think we'll see a lot more of him winning when he turns babyface eventually.
Yeah.
And a bit more constant on the roster.
I wouldn't be surprised if they shake hands after it.
Yeah, maybe. Because you still see a bit of respect between them.
It is. There is mutual respect, but Logan's just too much of a smart ass.
That's what the storyline's about. Is about Logan Paul earning respect.
Yeah, in the big leagues, yeah.
So I think Ricochet to win, and Logan Paul and Ricochet shake it out by the end.
Yeah. And I think I'll agree with. I think it was Joe. You said the match would be a spot fest.
Yeah, spot fest. Yeah,
it'll definitely be a major spot fest, and those two will steal the damn show.
Not even that, it will most likely be the kickoff match as well because Jake Paul's fighting that night.
Yeah, so Logan needs to get out of there quick, smart to go and see his brother. And you put that aside, I think it makes sense to have them open the show because you want to get the crowd hot going into the show. You want them to start off strong,
especially if LA Knight doesn't win the Battle Royal.
Exactly. So that's the best way to kick off the show. Unless they do the Battle Royal first, who knows?
Maybe.
But I'd imagine Logan and Ricochet will open up the show.
Yeah. And second last match, the triple threat match between Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair.
This could go either way.
3 ways.
3 ways.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Anthony, what do you think, guys?
It's going to be a great match. 3 very credible women's wrestlers. I see Asuka winning on the sole fact that she's really been in the background for this whole feud, this whole 3-way feud. I reckon she'll quote-unquote take us by surprise as we've forgotten she's there and get one over. I doubt she'd pin Charlotte. That's probably a bit too wishful thinking for me. But Asuka winning and hopefully I reckon we get another Charlotte feud, just her and Asuka after. Bianca will probably maybe see the heel turn there after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Asuka winning.
So after all that talking, Asuka?
Asuka.
Thank you.
Asuka will win because I think Charlotte and Bianca will cancel themselves out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And
We say Asuka picks the pieces.
bits of pieces, but I think the big storyline will come out of there would be Bianca turning heel, completely heel. I can see her losing her you-know-what after the match and attacking Asuka and Charlotte.
So like Becky a couple of years back.
Exactly.
Yeah, Archie?
I got Charlotte winning, but the Money in the Bank cash-in doesn't happen right away. I think they wait for a couple Smackdowns. Because if Charlotte wins, that takes it to her 15th. I think they want to get it to 16th come Mania time. Win at the big one. Equal her dad's record.
Yeah, good call. It's a good call.
John?
I think Asuka will win. They got to have a look strong because, like Anthony said, she seems like the afterthought in all this, and she's the bloody champion. So I think Asuka will win, and I agree with what Joe said. I think Charlotte and Belair will cancel each other out, and she'll pick up the pieces. But it wouldn't surprise me if we see Io Sky and Bayley get involved this somehow. I think we'll definitely be seeing those two. Whether Io cashes in the same night or not, we don't know, but I think she'll be there.
Yeah. I'm still sticking with Asuka. She's been left in the dark throughout this whole storyline. She's the 5th horse in this whole thing. If there is going to be a cash-in, it's going to be a failed cash-in.
That's
And
what the rumor was.
I don't think it's going to be Bailey. I think it's going to be Shotzi that'll screw it all up for him.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, if there is any attempt, Shotzi's going to get involved some way, somehow.
So you going with Asuka?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you got 5 feuding right now together. You're throwing Shotzi. If they ever pull the trigger on it, would it be time for the most meaningful women's elimination chamber match?
Next year.
Eventually,
yeah.
because it's a hot feud. There's 6 women that are all feuding with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You never see a meaningful women's elimination chamber match. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the trigger that soon.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see.
It's meaningful.
It's already up there. And last but not least, the main event of the evening, the
Tribal combat.
tribal combat match. Anything goes.
Hey.
Do we know what the tribal combat rules are?
It's just
Same as MMA rules.
It's just a fancy. It's a fancy way of no disqualification.
It's a fight.
Yeah,
It's, I
count
think
out maybe.
no disqualifications.
And
no,
it is for the championship.
for the championship,
And
and winner is
And the
strong.
necklace.
Yep, the lay.
The lay.
Ev?
We'll get all the bloodhouse shithouse out of the way. Yes, there'll be interferences. Yes, there'll be a ref bump. Roman will still come out on top. And then Jay will move on. Maybe have him a strong singles push afterwards until Jimmy returns. Maybe we see Jimmy return that night. But Roman will prevail, especially with stakes that high. They wouldn't do that unless it was WrestleMania, sorry.
Joe?
Roman will walk away with the title and the lay and the title of Tribal Chief. However, if Roman's won a lot of these matches with interference in sanctioned matches, not sanctioned matches, the matches where there is,
Stipulation.
well, so was it SummerSlam last year?
Yeah, the
Brock
last
and
one
Roman.
standing match.
Then we figured, oh man, how's Brock going to do it there? And then we found out Roman, the ring got flipped and weapons, everything like that.
Mm.
Prepare to see, did you say shithouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, prepare to see the most shithouse. That's my take. I think it's a left take, a cold take, a hot take, whatever. Prepare to see the most shithouse finish that you've seen with Roman winning. I don't know. Sorry. I once again, not to leave it vague. We've seen everything, or we think we've seen everything. Prepare to see something we had no idea of fathoming. Roman winning.
Something, do you reckon
and then a massive turn from someone, or some physical aspect to the match where Roman walks away, where in any other match will be a no contest or the match will get thrown out. Or, not having it both ways, or a massive turn from someone.
What are you saying? One of the elders?
Maybe Jimmy,
Okay,
maybe
Rikishi
Jimmy, or maybe Rikishi on his son. That's a bit of a stretch. Maybe Jimmy, but I see some physical aspect. I just see the match ending in a way. Sorry to be vague if I'm being vague, but I just see the match ending in some physical aspect that's going to be, oh my God, how the hell did they do that? Very similar to SummerSlam last year.
Yeah. Archie, how about yourself?
You can pretty much copy and paste my answer for every Roman match that involves the world title until WrestleMania. Roman will win. I do have to echo Joe's sentiments there. I do see Jimmy turning. I see Jimmy. I think it eventually happens, and down the line, Solo gets enough of Roman. I think not endgame for WrestleMania, but endgame with the Bloodline involves all four in a fatal four-way match for the title down the line.
You really want that fatal four-way to happen, don't you?
I think it has to happen at this point to how hard I've been booking it.
John, how about yourself?
I see Roman winning because there's no way he's going to lose the title before Mania 40. You can tell it's going to happen. It's a waste.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten to the point where he can only lose at WrestleMania, the biggest show. I know SummerSlam is a part of the big four, but it has to be Mania. So I see Roman winning, but obviously there's going to be a lot of shithouse. There's going to be a lot of it. I know they say it's tribal combat where only the two guys who are involved in the match can get involved as per like the Samoan tradition. But this is Roman Reigns we're talking about. We know he's going to bend the rules. We know Solo's going to get involved. And that'll probably lead to Jimmy returning and or Rikishi.
Is that the tribal combat rules aspect between them two in the match?
Yep.
No, tribal combat means leading up to the match, no one can attack each other.
Which got thrown out.
So that means the rules have got thrown out.
So the rules have already been thrown out.
The rules have already been thrown out. So we know for a fact Solo's going to get his hands dirty.
So they're basically giving us a no disqualification match.
Yes, that's pretty much what it is. And then I think Jimmy will get involved. We'll probably see Rikishi as the elder. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans, and like Joe, I don't know which way it's going to go, but it's going to be something we're not expecting.
But sorry to cut you off again, John. Didn't Roman say last week or the week before who were the elders, or who did you speak to?
Yeah. He said do the elders know about this? And then Jay said it was their idea.
Okay, so we're led to believe there's been input from a higher power.
Rikishi. Rikishi makes sense.
Could we see Rikishi as a special guest referee?
It's a nice idea.
Yeah.
It's a nice idea to stretch. It's either winking at Rikishi or The Rock.
Probably be Rikishi because we just never know when we can see The Rock. The guy's always tied up with Hollywood and all that.
Yeah.
So I think Roman wins, but we will, like Joe said, there's going to be a major twist in the match where it's going to blow everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Cameron?
Oh, is it my turn?
Did you doze off?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Joe's thoughts there.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm definitely sticking with Roman winning, of course. But just a thought. This is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to get a bit of a classic Uso moment. Jay's going to do the huck up before his entrance.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
and they'll stream Manu Vanaboy out of maximum security jail.
But I'm expecting like a classic entrance.
Something tribally.
Yeah.
A lot of tongues out of mouths.
Yeah.
Tongue in mouth, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah.
The aftermath of MDMA, who knows?
The alpha male, Marcus Corvon.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
The Alpha Academy, Chad Gableson.
We'll get Otis still in the worm.
Where is Omos?
God knows.
Oh, yeah, where is he?
No business.
Mr. Free Agent.
Are we all going to that pay-per-view in India in a couple of weeks?
Somebody's going to share those tickets there.
The superstars.
We've got a certain friend that we know.
And his name is Shanky. rails here.
We're never on the fucking rails.
It's getting late here, boys. It's it's almost bedtime for all
6 in the bloody morning.
It's what Darkleaf does to you.
But yeah, overall, before we end the show, is there any thoughts before?
Give us a rating of your prediction of our prediction, Cams. A review of our predictions.
1 for Anthony, 4.5 for Joe, 4 for Archie, 3 for John.
What about yourself?
The Melter scale.
-5.
-5 for yourself.
-5 stars.
You gotta give yourself a plot. Like, what is the ratings that Meltzer does these days? The 7 stars. And all
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
5.
Oh no, I
If this podcast is done in the Tokyo Dome, we'd get 6.5.
I don't have
On the
a.
worst of days.
I don't have real Osprey quality of.
If we gave these ratings in a Japanese restaurant, it'd be 8 stars.
Yeah.
88
I'm going to
stars.
take a shitter.
Anyways,
Okay.
but yeah, Joe, just to finish off the night, you want to do the honours?
I'd like to throw it to Anthony since he wants to talk so much.
For
Anthony.
me,
Yeah, Anthony.
You have any dad jokes for
it's
us
a bit of
tonight?
a long one. So there's 3 athletes, right?
Oh, here we go.
And one of them's like, you know what? I feel like I'm the fastest athlete in the world. So they get the stopwatch out, they record his time, and they send it off to the Guinness Book of World Records. The second athlete, he believes he's the tallest athlete in the world. So they get the tape measure out, they measure him, send it off to the Guinness Book of World Records. The third athlete, for some weird reason, he thinks, you know what? I have the smallest dick in the world. So they get the tape measure out,
What are you doing?
measure it, send it to the Guinness Book of World Records. A few days go by, the first athlete receives a letter, opens it. Yes, I'm the fastest athlete in the world. The second athlete receives a letter as well, reads it. Yes, I'm the tallest athlete in the world. The third athlete receives his letter, opens it, and is reading. Who the fuck is Joe Musa?
Can't end the podcast, please.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, bye. See you later.
Bye-bye, butters.